What's up, workforce? Brian here.
Chris here,
And we just wrapped up our podcast with Datto.
who plays Final Fantasy. He has a 10 poster in the background.
So we ended up wanting to kind of just, shoot this little video. And we're going to have the highlights with our conversation with Datto about Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy X. And we want to do that here over at Work to Game and use this as an opportunity to tell you guys about our new channel.
Because maybe you've seen us promoting it in a few of our videos recently, but it's a place where you can find a lot more highlights like this.
So be sure to, obviously, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, but be sure to check the links in the description below for our Casually Hardcore podcast highlights. We've got lots more lined up over there, and we hope you hit that subscribe button. It really will help us out, and thank you guys so much for your support.
We look forward to seeing you over there.
So hit that subscribe button and enjoy this video. We do have a quick question, I guess, and I think that's an interesting one. Captain says, how come Datto doesn't play Final Fantasy XIV? I've always wondered this.
It's a time commitment thing.
Yeah.
My friends all started playing. I have a ton of friends who are playing. I just do not have the time to play it. That's it. It's, if you're talking to 2017 me, where I have all the time in the world and I'm just doing nothing, no house, no girlfriend, no nothing like that, I'm playing. No problem. 100% I'm playing. But I barely have time to do stuff after the work things I have to do, much less get involved in another investment grindy MMO game. So I just do not have the time for it.
What we literally need to do for you, though, is we need to get your house and your girlfriend both playing Final Fantasy XIV, because then everything's working in that direction.
I mean, my girlfriend plays Destiny. Like we play Destiny together, but it's just like after, streaming for 8-9 hours or working on videos all day, the last thing I want to go do is play more video games when I know I have to go do a bunch of stuff around the house or just like handle, emails or just trip plan. I got 4 trips to plan for the rest of the year. Like it's just, I don't have enough time. And maybe one day I will get to the point where I just don't have anything to plan or do, and then I can get into it. But right now
That's good. Okay, so let's talk Final Fantasy, because literally we talked about 14 in the opening, but we could even kind of rehash it here. You just said Final Fantasy X, your favorite Final Fantasy. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first Final Fantasy that I played. I never really had like a original PlayStation growing up. I was more on like N64 and all that kind of stuff. And my parents were a little wary about video games. Like they didn't want to give too much, especially with how much I played WoW. So my gaming experiences were like whatever I got, I latched onto it like super hard. And that was the case with Final Fantasy X. It was my first Final Fantasy.
Wow.
And so I played it a ton. I still have like the guidebook somewhere like in my house.
It's a gorgeous guidebook.
Oh, what I would have given for a guidebook.
Yeah, I played the hell out of it. Like my friends literally started calling me Datto because Datto is one of the characters on the Blitzball team. And I like didn't know that you could go recruit new characters to be on your team until I got that guidebook. So I just leveled him up a lot. And he got really fast, and he had a high shoot skill. So I would just go score like 10 goals in a game, and my friends just started calling me Datto after that. So that's been my nickname for over half my life. Yeah.
That is so awesome. That is the coolest story of how someone got their nickname as well. And it's like, yeah, I never made that connection, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Have you gone and played any of the other Final Fantasy games since 10?
I played like a little bit of 12, but I don't think my young child brain was able to handle it just because it felt like there were so many things going on. And I'm just like, what happened with this? Like, it's like, here's the bad guy. Here's your squad. You got to go level up to kill a bad guy. Like, what the hell is going on here? So
bad guy's twin brother.
Yeah. And so I never really got through that. 13, I was like, okay. And then I played a little 13 too, and I thought that was a little bit better. But ever since I got really deep into YouTube and Destiny, I just haven't really been playing that many other things. Like if I had the time, like back in college or before I started doing YouTube, if I had the time, I didn't have the money. And if I had the money, I didn't have the time.
Yeah, it's weird how life works that way, right? You ever heard the stories of celebrities in which that they're broke, they can't afford anything, they become famous, and they've got the money, and nobody will take the money?
Yeah.
Like, I could pay for this. No, it's on the house. It's like, man, you just wish that was flipped. Oh, you're a struggling actor? That's on the house.
Right.
Matt Damon said that he's the only thing he's fearful about with losing his money is that he can't afford to be poor. And because he looks at the cost, because he runs a lot of like nonprofits for like bringing water to areas that don't have access to like healthy drinking water and all that. And he's like, you look at the expense, you have people spending 5 and 8 hours a day just trying to keep water for their family. And it takes one whole family member, basically a full-time job, to keep water for their family. He goes, I can't afford to lose a whole working day every week. Like, how expensive it is to be poor. That's fascinating.
So have you gone back and played any of the other, like, previous to 10? Because there was, like, 9, 8, and 7 for the original PlayStation, and they were also remastering 7, again.
I think I'm probably going to hop on the remaster for sure. Again, like, my young child brain, I had played 10 first, and then everyone was like, you got to play 7, it's the best thing. And then I get 7, and, like, back when I actually cared about how things looked, like graphically, I was like, I can't do this. Like nowadays I probably could, no problem. But back in the day,
I don't fault you.
I was just like, I can't. I just went from 10 and I'm going to giant polygons, like
with voice acting in 10, and then to just try to go backwards to 7. It was
right.
I don't fault you at all. I wouldn't necessarily call it like sit here and say like anybody who doesn't like. I don't fault them in that regards at all. There is this appeal for visuals. I think, though, that as you grow as a gamer, you end up getting a greater appreciation for the gameplay than the visuals. But there's still that onboarding. Not just the number 1 rated expansion, but it's also pretty much the highest rated game for 2019, both critically and by the users as well. Well, have you followed it at all? Or is it just the fact that like you literally?
It's literally just my friends. Like my friends were like talking about like the story campaign and all that kind of stuff and how good it was. But anything I see in terms of Final Fantasy, is strictly from just like my friends linking screenshots and talking in our Discord channel about it. So I would love to look into it more. I would love to play more, but I have so many things on my plate. Just even with Destiny alone, like only now with Destiny have I reached a point where like, okay, I have all the triumphs that I want. I have all the titles and I have all the guns and this and that and this. And like, I wanted to feel complete on Destiny. And it's taken until now, like a month before the next expansion comes out.
The next race.
I felt caught up.